Good afternoon, YouTube. My name is Kayvon, and I'm here to show you our Nomadic Innovations S1 mini split, and to talk about the install process that went into that. A little background: we got this unit put on our 2022, I believe, maybe 23. Four-wheel campers Project M. And the reason we got this unit is because we run search dogs, and they are in here no matter where we're going. If it's up in the Idaho mountains where we've got snow and ice and we need to run a heater, or if it's August down in Boise and it's 110 degrees, so we have to keep these two comfortable no matter what. Also doesn't hurt that it makes us comfortable. So I would also like to start by thanking our sponsor. Nomadic Innovations sponsored us to help us with these wonderful furry children of ours, and we really appreciate that. So let's jump right in. So this here is our Four-Wheel Campers Project M. As you can see, it's a topper, not a slide-in, so the bed of the truck is used as the base, and you can customize everything. We have Nomadic water, automatic water. We've got power. We've got a Nomadic fridge cooler. It also can act as a freezer if we turn it down. We've got their crates, king-size bed set up, and then we have the mini split. And please forgive the stuff everywhere. We're actively out doing things at the moment. So I'm gonna come around here to the side, and this is the outside unit. Now I would have liked to have done a video showing the install. However, there was some concerns I had, so I kind of just dive right into it. In fairness, I actually sent it off and had them dive right into it after consulting with them quite a bit. My main concern was I did not know what was behind this wall. I know there's wiring in some of these sides somewhere, and there's also bracing in these. So drilling this hole here had me really nervous. So I took it to Apex Off-Road out of Boise, and they are an authorized four-wheel campers dealer. They have all parts. They're also a four-wheel drive dealer. They build Jeeps and stuff like that, and they know all about these. So they knew where to drill this hole. They knew where to mount these bolts here to get it in the right spot. So I sent it off to them. I'm pretty handy. I felt like I could have mounted it myself overall if I had known where those things were, and I was really afraid of hitting the wrong thing, not getting it mounted correctly. I didn't want to cut away a bunch of stuff just to find out where that is and then try and, cover it up, bolt over it. So that's what I had them do. Now, again, what I had them do is they drilled a hole right here, and they went just past bracing pieces. They drew this hole, and the unit came with this plastic grommet, and then they piped all these hoses in here. They knew where the bracing was, so the top bolts here actually threw an aluminum brace inside the wall, and they're bolted on the backside, which I'll show you in a moment. And then these bottom ones, they're actually not in a brace because there wasn't a brace on the bottom side. However, with the top bolts bolted into that brace, I'm totally not concerned about this going anywhere. It's solid. I mean, I would have to, I'm rocking the whole rig here. So that's not going anywhere. We'll go back inside here and we'll show you. So here is the unit inside, like we saw earlier. You can see right here where it comes through the wall. If you look close, real close, you can kind of see the edge of that plastic grommet. They packed up all these hoses for us and wrapped them all up, and there was quite a lot of hose. Originally I wanted the unit more back over here towards the bed area. However, I found out that you really need 6 inches of clearance. So to run this with the top down, which we do half the time, we had to find a new location for it because this window here didn't give us the room we needed to make that work. So this is the location we picked, and instead of shortening the hoses, which would have been a process all by itself, they just decided to loop them here. You got the drain hose here. Everything runs through that one hole, so we've got as few cut spots as possible, which is nice. Things wrapped up, taped up nicely. I do still have to make some changes. What I want to do is I want to put a board here, just to kind of keep these all protected, especially since these connections here get cold. I mean, they get visible frost buildup. Like, it's almost a little dangerous if you're not careful. So I've got a piece of foam wrapped around them right now just to keep it kind of safe. The other thing I'm gonna do is, like I said, put that board up there to keep it so that if we set bags here, nothing's gonna get caught or messed up or broken here. So that it was, I mean, overall it was a pretty basic install. You can see they send it when you order it from Nomadic Innovations. They send it with this mounting board, which is the exact size you need. So this came with it. We didn't have to cut this. We didn't have to do anything, which is really nice because that allowed them. They just shortened this track, which used to extend all the way down. They shortened this track, and then they just put this board onto the wall through those aluminum those aluminum framing there that I mentioned, which you can't see the top bolts. So you can't see them on this side right here, but they're hidden behind this board on this side. So this board is mounted to the framing, and then the mini split unit itself is mounted to that board. So this is also solid. Like, I've unfortunately ran into it a couple times with my shoulder trying to load things in and out of here, because I'm fairly tall and not a lot of room. I'm sitting now. I was hoping to kind of show you it running. However, today turned out to be a lot cooler than I expected. So hopefully in the next, well, I don't like heat, but in the next couple of days it's supposed to be warmer. So we will fire it up and see how well it does, other than as a test outside of my driveway. Side note to mention as well, the power cabling. So you can see the cable, there we go. You can see the cable runs here and runs out, and then it runs down here. Now originally Apex put it through this hole down here, ran it down along underneath the frame rail of the truck, all the way up to the front battery. Now I originally wanted to hook it into this battery unit here that powers everything in my Project M currently. However, they were concerned about that not having a big enough power load to run this AC for any length of time. So they ran it straight up to my truck battery. That was not the worst choice, just not something I would have preferred to do. So what I did is I actually rebuilt this entire box behind me. This one here on the floor. Rebuilt this entire thing and made space for a 400 amp hour battery that I purchased, and a DC to DC charger, combiner box, everything that I need to power just this for almost 8 hours continuous running. I hope to never have to run it that long continuously, but if I have to, I want the power. So I went to wire all that, and the battery was delayed in shipping for about 2 weeks. So I wasn't able to do that. However, I got all the wiring to it, and so this wiring here runs down along here to this wheel well back to the back of the box where everything's at. However, I just have Anderson clips to everything, so I clipped it's still clipped straight into the truck battery at the moment. Again, once I get that battery in, I'll get it wired in to the battery itself, and it won't be running off the truck, and I won't have to continuously start my truck to get that to keep it from killing my truck battery. So that is kind of the install process. It was actually fairly simple overall. I felt very comfortable about mounting it on the side of, say, like a van or anything. It was really the unknown of inside that wall. I just don't know enough about these four-wheel campers to have felt confident bolting it on there and drilling that hole without hitting something vital that I chose not to do that. It was worth the cost of having somebody else do it. But again, super simple process. I mean, the hoses all come with it, all the piping, the grommet, everything, and everything's pretty simple. You can see right here on the bottom of this, you got an Anderson clip for the power. These hoses right here, they mean you can't mix them up. And that's really it. I mean, it's power, a couple hoses, little piece for drainage. The other thing I will mention too is this being on the side of our truck. On this side, the hoses are towards the front of the truck. We go down a lot of Forest Service roads, so right now this is a bit exposed. I'm going to talk to a friend of ours who's a machinist and have a piece of metal come out and over to this, so that way it protects these lines as like branches and stuff come, and keeps all this nice and clean and protected, because I really don't want those snapped. That would just make a nightmare for me. So thanks for watching, and yeah, I do have some video from the actual shop that I will include in this clip as well. So thanks for your time.